So here we are on location outside Poundland in Felixstowe. Although Poundland is not this week's subject. This week's subject is Carex, who couldn't Carex. Couldn't Carex. Keeping your family happy and healthy. Poundland. The fuck is that? Oi! The first rule! It's a pandemic as well! Anyway, Carex, who couldn't Carex.
Hi, I'm Angus, evangelist, ex-cult member, born-again wanker, using the toxic platform of social media to bring you my weekly message on the environment, greenwashing and all that bollocks. And for clarity, and for anybody who does not actually understand my sense of humour, those are mixed metaphors. I never have been either a cult member or a wanker, although some people might disagree with that. But I am evangelistic about the things I'm talking about in these videos, trying to spread the word. So if you care about this stuff, please share my videos, comment or like them, or subscribe. Today we're going to be talking about Carex, and specifically these. If you have one of these at home, I'd love to know what you're going to do with it, or what you plan to do with it. Are you going to send it to one of the Terracycle recycling facilities? Are you going to throw it in your recycling bin? Are you going to put it in your normal trash? What are you going to do with it? Please do comment below. I'd love to know what you're going to do with these things if you've got one of these. Here, yeah? So, Carex, who quite honestly couldn't Carex, whose slogan, if you remember on the poster there, was keeping your family happy and healthy. I mean, if what they mean by that is a 52-mile round-trip cycle ride to correctly dispose of their packets, I guess that's going to keep you healthy, but you're going to have to be Lance Armstrong for that to keep you happy as well. I can't imagine most families thinking that's a great day out. We are in a pandemic, and there is one voluntary thing that we've all had to do, without question, I think. As part of the pandemic, and that is to wash our hands in a way that was previously only thought of as obsessive compulsive disorder. So we're having to wash our hands 20 minutes every time we come in and out of the house. Look, it's playing havoc with my hands. Look at them. So good for Carex, you would think. Carex are one of the winners out of this pandemic. In the spirit of needing to wash my hands quite so many times, I bought one of these here, and it says in big friendly letters 85% less plastic, and it also says in big friendly letters here, new recycle with Terracycle. But who a Terracycle? I don't know. Is it the latest two-wheeled ride at Alton Towers? I've no idea what Terracycle is. So I asked Carex, and this is what happened. So I start by sending them a message on Facebook with a photo of their package, asking them where I can recycle it in Felixstowe, where I live. And they come back to me quite quickly with this link that actually takes you to a corporate page where they're trying to sell you plastic benches and stuff they've made. All very laudable stuff, but no help to me whatsoever. So naturally I go back to them and I explain that that's no help, by saying, thanks for that, I might be a bit stupid, but I can't find it. Of course, I've already made a purchase. I just need to know where to recycle your packaging. So they come back with this. Again, it's just a link. And this is where the link goes. Participating locations 214, available locations 36. What does that mean? But then there's a link there that shows you to find your nearest public drop-off location. So this is where I live, Felixstowe. This is a river, so the one closest to me in Harwich wasn't going to work. And then this one is 26 miles from my home. So no wonder you can't give me a specific location. There isn't one. Anyway, they've ignored this. Would my postcode help you? They ignored it. Could you let me have your address so as I can send it to you? They ignored this. I start getting a little bit silly. If I give you my address, could you send a courier to pick it up? They ignored this. I think I have it. I could start a local Facebook Carex group where we all drink tea and swap stories about our struggles to recycle your packaging. How would you feel about sponsoring the initial advertising to get this off the ground? No response. There is a gap of around 24 hours between each of these messages, so this was the next one I sent. I think perhaps you are ignoring me now, which I could understand if we were a pair of teenagers having a fight about a boy, but this is serious stuff. Perhaps you could pass me on to somebody in your PR department. No response. So for my last ditch attempt, I asked them, is there another way other than Terracycle to recycle this bag, or am I simply expected to send it to landfill? Guess what? No response. I also actually asked Terracycle as well, and they just gave me corporate bollocks. Probably the best way of putting it. More on Terracycle, I think, another day. But really interesting. But think of it this way. Imagine walking into a bar and saying, "Excuse me, stout yeoman." They like it when you call them that, especially the women. "Could I have 2 pints of beer, and could I drink it in your beer garden?" "Yes, yes, of course, sir. Here's your 2 pints of beer, and you may drink it in a beer garden." So then you go outside with your 2 pints of beer into the beautiful sunshine looking for the beer garden, and you can't find one. So then you go back in and you see stout yeoman, and you realise you've probably pissed him off with the stout yeoman thing. And you say, "Look, I can't find the beer garden." He says, "Well, that's because it's 26 miles away at our other pub." I'm no more likely to take my 2 pints of beer 26 miles away to drink them in a beer garden than I am to drive or cycle 26 miles, 52-mile round trip to drop this thing off at Terracycle. And who the hell is? If you're out or if you're buying anything and you see this Terracycle sign on your packets, before you buy it, find out where the nearest facility for you is. They recycle lots of different hard to recycle products, but they're all done individually. So you must check to see whether the Terracycle place you want actually is also a Carex place or a toothbrush place or a crisp packet place or whatever it is. But when you see it sign, make sure you check first that it is somewhere that your carbon footprint to take it there is not, completely offsetting, the fact that you're recycling this stuff correctly. I know what I'm going to be doing with mine, and that is I'm going to be folding this up, I'm going to be putting it in an envelope, and I'm going to be sending it to them. And I would suggest that if you're in the same position as me, that you do the same thing. Don't put any postage on there, they'll have to pay it when it gets there. Refuse, reuse, recycle, and if you can't recycle, return it. And that is what I'm doing, because I cannot recycle this and they won't even tell me where to do it. I couldn't Carex was made to Carex. I like that. Next week I'm going to be tackling the infestation, because that's exactly what it is, of compostable coffee cups and coffee lids into our recycling system, and the damage that this ultimately well-meaning but greenwashing phenomena is doing. So stay tuned for next week, or tune in next week. Please do tune in next week. Hopefully you will see me again next week, but please, if you care about this stuff, and you should care about this stuff, please do subscribe to my channel, comment, like, share the video. You can share it on Facebook, you can share it on YouTube, you can share it anywhere really. Let's get it out there. Unless a lot of people send these things back like I have, nobody is going to listen. Help me spread the word, help me make a change. Thank you. See me next week.